Silicone testicle covers have been banned from Japanese saunas. A tourist has been charged after kidnapping and torturing a flamingo in Las Vegas. And the police are warning that there are crocodiles everywhere after Australia floods. These are the weird stories on Weird AF News, the only daily weird news podcast available on all podcast players. Let's go. Silicone testicle covers have been banned from Japanese saunas. Let's find out why they were banned. And actually, let's find out what the hell these things are. I've never heard of silicone testicle covers. What is? Have you? Have you heard of this? I don't really hang out at saunas too often, but the few times I've been, I didn't see anybody with testicle covers. Was I supposed to have a testicle cover and I went without a testicle cover? I went to a sauna with my testicles uncovered, apparently, and I'm just learning that right now. I probably broke some laws, maybe. Cover your testicles. What's wrong with you? Can't you see the sign? It says cover your testicles. All right, this story centers around a sauna in downtown Nagoya, Japan. It's called Sauna Monkey. Now, last week they put out a very unique announcement on their website. They said, "Thank you very much for your continued patronage at Sauna Monkey. Based on careful consideration of hygiene factors, we would like to take this opportunity to ask that our customers refrain from using covers for certain specific parts of the body made of silicone or other materials within the bath and sauna areas." And if you're wondering just what specific parts of the body these covers in question are for, well, it's the testicles. I'm looking at a photo of what looks like rubber testicle covers, silicone testicle covers to put on your testicles when you go into the sauna. I've never seen these before. They look like miniature swimming caps. They come in some very cute colors. Now, the technical term for these, it says here, are sauna use male productive devices. This must be a Japanese testicle move because I've been to many saunas, in the States predominantly, and I've never seen these before. These are silicone cups for men to rest their sweaty nuggets in while in a sauna so as to keep the sensitive skin of the scrotum off the heated surface of the bench that the sauna users sit on. Oh, it's to protect you from the heat of the bench. But yeah, don't you sit on a towel? I've always sat on a towel in the sauna. So I don't, who's putting their balls directly on the hot wood in there? I got a lot of questions. They're still not being answered. All right, I did a little search. I wanted to know where you can order these and how much they cost. They offer them on Amazon. We have here a sauna insulated silicone guard that protects men's delicate zones from heat. It says this item cannot be shipped to your location. I guess you can only, they don't allow these out of Japan. These precious nugget guards. I don't know. These precious family jewels sauna guards. Right, there's a description here giving me more information. We're learning, guys. We're learning about silicone testicle guards for the sauna. Prior to today, I didn't even know these things existed. They're made of super soft material, thank goodness, because I don't want my testicles in some super hard material. You know what I'm saying? Nothing scratchy down there either. And it says one size fits most. I love that. One size fits most. Well, if it doesn't fit, I guess you just buy two, right? Well, listen to this paragraph. It makes no sense. It says, as a gift for a man who loves saunas, it is hard to forbid saunas. This is a new suggestion for playing clever while avoiding risk instead of denying your favorite hobby. Give it as a thoughtful gift for your partner who is planning their future families. Wow, they really kind of market it as a concern for the health of the testicle. As if, putting your testicles on the wood in a sauna over and over again, might prevent you from having a family in the future, it seems. And they're very concerned with making families over in Japan. They have like a people shortage, or at least they're afraid of it. So, they want to make sure that the testicles are in tip-top shape over there. So hence the testicle guards. Now, these things are washable and they come in 8 different colors, it says. Oh, so exciting. All right, jumping back into the article, I'm very curious, why were these testicle cups banned at the monkey sauna Monkey? Now, it doesn't seem to be the covers themselves. So much as that apparently Sauna Monkey has had to deal with people leaving their ball covers behind, meaning the cleaning staff has to continuously pick these ball cups up and throw them away. Used ball cups. Used sweaty ball cups. Imagine. It says customers have been leaving their testicle covers on the common use racks/shelves for personal items, where they're a bit too close for comfort to other people's belongings. Oh, what a bunch of degenerates over there, huh? How do you leave your nut cup behind? What's wrong with you? That's a very personal item. I suppose they just got tired of reminding these guys that don't forget your testicle cups, boys, when you leave. The sauna went on to explain there's a great likelihood of customers finding the sight of testicle covers lying around the facility to be, quote, psychologically uncomfortable, or in more visceral terms, just plain gross. And it was this, more so than scientific hygiene concerns, as the primary reason for the change in policy. Now, for the record, Sauna Monkey says they're not opposed to ball covers on a conceptual level. Imagine being the PR person, you have to come out and say this. Yeah, I prepared a statement. We just want you to know Sauna Monkey is not opposed to ball covers in general. Yes, we believe that the nutsack is a very important part of the male genitalia, and we want to preserve it. And we want to make sure that it functions at the utmost efficiency going forward, especially when it comes to pregnancy. We're all for pregnancy. Furthermore, we think that these testicle vessels are a fine quality and a very alluring design, and customers are welcome to use the covers in the facility's private saunas as long as they remember to take their ball cups home when their session is done. Now it says, in addition, Sauna Monkey's Tokyo location also had to enact a policy banning the use of testicle covers as well for similar reasons. So I guess they too had to deal with just retrieving the testicle cups at the end of the day, and they were tired of it. I mean, really, it's not fair to your employee that has to do that at the end of the day. Imagine you gotta round up all the discarded testicle cups at the end of the day. Who's paid for enough for that? Nobody. Nobody's paid enough to pick up those sweaty ball cups at the end of the day. Don't sniff them, playa. A tourist has been arrested after kidnapping a flamingo and torturing it at a Las Vegas hotel. We have here a Canadian man. No, not a Canadian man. A Canadian wouldn't do this. They're so sweet, Canadians. This sounds more like a Florida man escapade than a Canadian man escapade. But, well, the Canadians do like to drink a lot, so you can imagine you plop a Canadian into Vegas and, who knows what's going to go down. This cruel man has been arrested on animal abuse-related charges after allegedly grabbing and injuring flamingos at the Flamingo Las Vegas Hotel. Now, come on, man, not the flamingos. They're so beautiful, such beautiful birds. They're one of the most beautiful birds out there, wouldn't you say? Why would you want to be cruel to a flamingo? Now, a pigeon or a seagull, I can kind of forgive that, or at least, I understand. Even a peacock, if you kicked a peacock, those things are so mean, man. I'm just saying, they're mean birds. They'll attack you, attack your car. I've seen it out here in California. They do it. But I mean, come on, a flamingo. I'm gonna guess there's alcohol involved because it's a Canadian man. But that's not an excuse either, right? What happened to just you get drunk? When I get drunk, I steal parking cones. I steal French fries. I stole a plant once. A plant. Yeah, a big plant. It was I think it was an expensive plant. But I would never harm an animal. That's just out of the question. Here's how it went down. Apparently at the Flamingo Hotel and Casino, they have a flamingo habitat, which I was not aware of. This individual, Mitchell Fairbarn, the Canadian, broke into the flamingo habitat somehow and injured some of the birds. Wow, so more than one bird? He just breaks into the flamingo habitat and starts throwing haymakers at the birds. There's video surveillance of this Canadian man that was obtained by authorities. It shows him grabbing the first flamingo from the habitat around 5 a.m. He's seen within frame again in the video grabbing a second flamingo at 5:07 and then entering an elevator. He's grabbing flamingos and getting in the elevator? Where's the front desk during all of this? You could just walk through a lobby with a flamingo under your arm. Can you? How do you explain that? Yeah, hey, I need these flamingos to play croquet tomorrow. Yeah, you've seen Alice in Wonderland, right? Is that too deep a cut right there, guys? You know, they used the flamingos to play croquet in Alice in Wonderland. All right. Now, the authorities also obtained some cell phone video and photos that allegedly show this man choking a flamingo. What? This is a real evil doer right here. It says, in addition to choking the flamingo, in the video, Fairbarn is seen laughing, and he says, quote, "I'm taking it home," as he walks back to his room. Now, when the police spoke to the Canadian man, he said he entered the habitat because he saw a flamingo in distress. Oh, okay. Yeah, I saw a flamingo in distress, so I went in there to choke it. I mean, save it. He stated that he popped the wing back into place because it was a dislocated wing. Yeah. Yeah, don't worry, I'm a flamingo chiropractor. I gotta, its back was out of whack. Don't worry, I popped it right into place. Despite his pathetic pleas, authorities concluded that the Canadian man willfully and maliciously severely injured a federally protected migratory species such as the flamingo. Wow, I didn't know they were federally protected as well. Man, I hope the bird's all right. As for the bird in question, the media obtained the following statement from Caesars Entertainment on the status of the bird. It says, "We are aware of the deeply distressing incident involving a guest who was arrested for breaking into our wildlife habitat and assaulting our precious flamingos. The safety and well-being of our iconic flock are of the utmost importance to us, and we will be pursuing charges against this individual to the fullest extent possible. Our beloved birds, including Peachy, who was cruelly taken from the habitat." Oh, Peachy was the name of the bird that was taken into the elevator, it sounds like. Says, Peachy and the birds are currently in the care of dedicated veterinarians and our extraordinary flamingo animal care team. We remain hopeful they will make a full recovery. Well, that's a relief to know the flamingos will be okay. It's maybe get a more beefy security around your flamingo habitat over there. I mean, a drunk Canadian man could just walk right in. What are you doing? I wonder what this guy's punishment's going to be. Not allowed in Vegas ever again. That would be appropriate, would you say? I think his punishment should be remove one of his legs so that he has to stand like a flamingo for the rest of his life. Fair?
Rinse knows that greatness takes time, but so does laundry. So Rinse will take your laundry and hand deliver it to your door expertly cleaned. And you can take the time pursuing your passions. Time once spent sorting and waiting, folding and queuing, now spent challenging and innovating and pushing your way to greatness. So pick up the Irish flute or those calligraphy pens or that daunting beef Wellington recipe card and leave the laundry to us. Rinse. It's time to be great.
Police are warning that there are crocodiles, quote, absolutely everywhere after flooding in Australia. Oh, crocodiles everywhere in Australia? So, same as before? This sounds like a normal day in Australia, to be honest. Like, why would you even need to make an announcement that there's there's crocodiles everywhere? Well, to be fair, they were already everywhere, but now they're just more everywhere than they previously were. The article begins saying police in Australia's Northern Territory warned of crocodiles, quote, absolutely everywhere. And they said that they had moved more than 1,000 people across the state into a shelter after massive floods have occurred. This is due to heavy rains over the weekend, with the town of Catherine specifically experienced its worst flooding since 1998. Police evacuated many people across the territory on Saturday with helicopters and aircraft deployed to communities in remote areas. We got a quote here from the police commander, Sean Gill, who's in charge of the situation. He says, at least 90 homes were without power. He warned residents against swimming in the waters. Don't swim in the waters. There's crocs absolutely everywhere. Don't go in the water. This message is quite clear. Don't go in the water. Don't swim in the water for 2 reasons. It's a fast-flowing river. Also, this is where the crocs are. There's lots of crocs absolutely everywhere. There's alligators everywhere. No, there's crocs everywhere. How's the Australian accent, guys? I'm doing the best I can over here. We're going to warn you about the crocs. Check your toilet. Check your bathtub. Check your bidet. There's crocs in your coffee, mate. You guys know I wrote a song called Alligators Everywhere for Florida, and maybe I got to do a remix for Crocodiles Everywhere Down Under. Now, the police inspector, Sean, goes on to say that crocodiles and other things will make your life difficult. In case you didn't know, guys, the crocs will make your life difficult. I thought they'd make your life easier, but apparently they make your life difficult. I got some stats here about the wildlife in Australia. More than 100,000 saltwater and freshwater crocodiles are estimated to be living across northern Australia. Saltwater crocs, which can grow to more than 20 feet, weigh over a ton, and they have a bite force strong enough to crush a human skull. Yeah, it's those saltwater crocs you gotta watch out for, eh? Now, apparently, the vast northern territory of Australia is one of the country's most sparsely populated areas and is frequently hit with extreme weather. I wasn't aware. Researchers have repeatedly warned that climate change amplifies the risk of natural disasters such as brush fires, floods, and cyclones in the Northern Territory. The Northern Territory Police Force strongly urge people to stay out of the floodwaters. Don't go swimming in the floods. There's crocs in there, lots of crocs. Also, there's excrement. Oh yeah, floodwaters have excrement. Crikey, there's nasty things floating in that floodwater. Toenails sometimes. Nasty toenails. Rotten papayas. You know, I once saw a half-eaten Hot Pocket floating down the flood river. Well, I didn't even know they had Hot Pockets in Australia. Hot Pocket! In Australia? Who knew? Now, the situation with the crocs is very, very serious. It says, with current flooding and rising river levels in the big rivers, crocodiles can move into new and unexpected areas, including creeks, drains, flooded roads, other waterways, your water bed. So those of you living in the Northern Territories, seek high ground and watch out for crocs. They're everywhere. Got an alligator in my backyard and nobody cares. Nobody cares. Got an alligator in my patio and nobody cares. Nobody cares. Had an alligator at my birthday party and nobody cared. Nobody cared. Had an alligator in the front seat of my Volkswagen and nobody cared, 'cause it's Florida. Alligators everywhere and nobody cares. In Florida there's alligators everywhere and nobody cares. Hey, my friends and loyal listeners of the Weird AF News podcast. This is your buddy Jonesy. It's good to be back. Let me address up top. I had technical difficulties, which was the reason why the Florida Friday the episode didn't publish on Friday when I uploaded it to the website server. It was done by 2 p.m. And then I had issues with Spotify's back end after that. It just wouldn't go out. And I kept having chats with them, and they're like, we don't know what's going on. I'm like, so, I was completely frustrated. I put out a couple of notices about it on Instagram. I don't know if you guys noticed that. I have a Weird AF News Instagram, by the way, at Weird AF News. Pretty simple. Anyways, I put updates there letting people know that, hey, I'm trying to publish it, but I'm getting technical difficulties here. So it finally went out Monday morning. I hope, sorry about that. And, it's a good thing. I'm not dead. Some of you were asking, are you dead? No, I'm not dead. Just, technology. Now, I need to give some thanks and praise over the weekend. Some people joined the Patreon, bought me coffees. First up, we have Charlie Orlando that became a member of the Patreon. Big deal, Charlie. So I want to give Charlie some love and praise, and thank Charlie for showing some major support by joining the Patreon. And I hope, please enjoy the extra content in that Patreon, Charlie. I think you're going to like it. I put some stuff in there today, as a matter of fact. Do you like hot dogs? That's a hint. Andrew Steiner became a member, so we want to give Andrew some love, joining the Patreon. Also wrote me a very lovely message in the Patreon. He says, hey man, just wanted to say I started listening to the podcasts, and it honestly helped me get through a 4-month layoff in 2025. Well, that's not entirely true, but it was a pretty great escape while I was sweeping my house between job searches. I really like your humor, Jonesy. It's sharp, but still approachable. And then he asked me some questions, like how do I like living in LA? Questions about my demographic of my listeners. He says, in all seriousness, I think you're great. Hope you keep finding success with the podcast. I'm looking forward to listening and contributing for a long time. Your buddy Andrew. So big shout out to Andrew. What a sweet message. That was really lovely to get that. I appreciate that. If you guys are interested in checking out the Patreon, just go to patreon.com/weirdafnews or go to weirdafnews.com. Also got some coffees bought for me off my website, weirdafnews.com. Bought me coffees. Caroline bought me 5 coffees and wrote, "You wanted to be disposed over the green monster reminded me, you wanting to be disposed over the green monster, Jonesy, reminded me of how I might handle my husband's remains. He ended up proposing not at Fenway Park, but a few days later on top of a mountain. Still romantic, but we could have been serenaded by the locals for free. I still married the dork because I love him. Mostly sweet, Caroline." She's mostly sweet, Caroline. Oh, I see what she did there. Because sweet cat. Do you know? You also realize that Sweet Caroline's played at every Red Sox game at Fenway Park, and everybody sings along during the 7th inning stretch. Caroline, did you know that? Anyways, big thanks and shout out to Caroline for her generous coffee purchases. Billy and April in Chicago also bought me coffee as well, and they're trying to organize the delivery of a sandwich for me. It didn't happen over the weekend, but it's going to happen today, I hope. Today is Tuesday. Is it Tuesday? Yes, it's Tuesday. I believe I'm going to be able to try for the very first time an Italian beef sandwich, Chicago style, so we're hoping to make that happen. We got a DoorDash situation lined up for today. Meanwhile, they felt bad that they weren't able to give me the sandwich over the weekend, so they bought me some coffees. So they're so sweet. So a big shout out to Billy and April in Chicago, and I can't wait for this sandwich. I know I mentioned that on the previous episode, but I'm really looking forward to the sandwich. I haven't even had lunch today, so I'm saving up for this. Now, if you guys want to buy me coffee or a sandwich from your favorite eatery here in Southern California, just hit me up. funnyjones@gmail.com, and my website's weirdafnews.com. You can also follow me on the gram at funnyjones. If you come across any, by the way, any news stories that you think are appropriate for the podcast, they need to be weird and recent. Really, is pretty much the only requirement. Send them over via the Instagram DM or the email anytime. I would appreciate that. And I'm gonna wrap this up because I'm over 20 minutes. So sorry about that. Good luck with your life, man. We'll see you tomorrow.